So today we're taking yet another look at some of the different decks that I've been playing this season, and we're gonna dive right into the games. Just like yesterday, it's gonna be 2 games. I say 2 as I hold up 3 fingers because that's the kind of person I am. Just 2 games, this time on Midrange Sorcerer. I played a lot of Midrange Sorcerer last season, and I think the deck probably got even better. But so far this season I've been toying around with a version that has a little bit of a lower curve. This is not the Hulking Fabricant Corsair ship Voice of Balance version, though I am kind of a fan of that one as well. Oh, what a good top deck.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
This is just more traditional. Alright, so now we are up against Assassin.
What have we here?
Do not know what kind yet, but we are going first. Do I really want to negate that? I feel like the answer is no. There's a good chance our opponent is running Daggerfall. The problem is that means we do nothing else for the turn. Which kind of makes me sad. Great top deck here, but no real follow-up, and he didn't play a real 2-drop.
The Night Mother will guide us.
Alright, so Ungulum and Thieves Guild Recruit, potentially playing against Ultra Assassin, which could be problematic depending on what we draw. If we get some Shadowfin Priest or something, we could be fine. Alright. Definitely looking like some version of Ultra Assassin. I think we're gonna go ahead and just Daggerfall and then do this to Saturate as opposed to the Mystic. This requires a little bit more removal from an Assassin, whereas this could die to Lightning Bolt, could die to like Cruel Fire Bloom on this. I think we're gonna go ahead and take that.
Careful there, friend.
Reward. We're gonna put this here because I'd like to get rid of this on my own terms and not give him 2 extra health. So this kind of puts pressure on him to do something with this if he's got it. And it looks like he will.
Lurk in the shadows. Wait. Sheol take you.
He's gonna try to take this trade here, and I would like to remove that threat, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and tome here.
Your blood
Well, of course,
will spill.
now with that top deck, I don't want to have done that, but it is what it is.
I smell
Then we're gonna
the
just assert our
stench of
dominance
the
over
living.
here. So the only thing we're really worried about at this point would be like Ice Storm. It's kind of problematic. Wow! Nicely done.
Nicely done.
Nicely done.
If I fall, the haste will reclaim me.
Oh, that's a pretty good top deck as well.
You've
Yeah.
not seen my like.
If we had another Lightning
Wrong
Bolt,
place for a midnight
kind of
stroll.
sucks there, but I don't think we want to lose that. I'm still a really big fan of this. I know this list is now down to 2 of these instead of 3, but again, that's trying to lower the curve. That's going to eat the Daggerfall. But I'm just been really happy with the performance of it all around.
Your time has come.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
So far it looks like we're kind of in control because this is going to be an easy peasy negation. We're going to do that.
This state will be
So
mine.
now we've got a lot of creatures that still survive Ice Storm. Ice Storm really only takes out 2, which kind of puts us in a driver's seat.
Mother will guide us.
The forest is more clever.
Okay. Gains some health and takes out the agent. I can respect that.
Let's dance.
Alright, we might have enough for lethal now, right? We have 6, 10. We have exactly lethal if they hit no prophecies. Which is a little bit... If they hit a prophecy, it's going to be sad because we really want to Worm King that, but nonetheless. We're gonna go ahead and actually tome this.
Wrong
Get
place
some
for a
attacks in
midnight
here
stroll.
before cracking this room. And then we should be fine, because there's not a prophecy that'll save it at that point. We were toming this because we didn't want a lightning bolt to kill it, and we didn't want either of these to solo kill it, so if he did hit a prophecy, it required him to use a lot of resources to deal with it, but... there you go. There is game 1. Like I said, it's potentially an even better deck than it was last season, and it was a really good deck last season. I think Midrange Sorcerer, and there's a lot of different variants, but I think all of them are very powerful. Like I said, there is a version floating around that uses Corsairship, Voice of Balance, and Hulking Fabricant, so a little bit slower in the early game than, say, this one is, but hits like a truck when you hit around, you know, turns 4, 5, and 6. Just spits out 8/8s over and over. Turns out 8/8s are pretty good. Depending on how it goes, we might see if we can put a similar list together and do some videos of that as well. Alright, going first again. Looks like this time against Warrior. Everybody's such a higher rank than me. That looks like a pretty good starter. I mean, we don't have a Crown Quartermaster, but we're not going to mulligan one of those to find it. We get a... hey, we top deck it again! Wow, we're getting awfully lucky on those top decks. I was going to say, we get a high quality 2-drop and 3-drop along with some insurance. I think that's entirely fine, but the top deck made it even better. So I'm curious to see which version of Warrior this is. In the past, you could pretty easily expect it to be mid-range, or like the aggro mid-range, the mid-grow, as Trader Joe calls it. But
this day will be mine.
Lately, there's been a new version of Doomcrag Warrior running around that makes use of the new Namir Shrine to help draw cards. And it looks spicy.
I have no fear of you, cowardly skeever.
The Nords must take
Oh, he's gonna get the trade in. Alright, so that's spicy. It's a good play by my opponent. So we'll try to counter that. This definitely looks like it's a more aggressive version of Warrior, just based on the Relentless Raider and Stormcloak Vanguard. So this will be interesting. The aggressive version of Warrior is capable of putting out a fair amount of burst damage, which is, I think, the big concern that we have in this matchup. Wow, what a good top deck for us.
Careful there, friend.
We're going to be proactive, and that should assert our dominance in the field lane. I can't imagine... I mean, he could opt to put the 5/5 that he got from the Vanguard over there, but we would still really only lose the Ward Crafter. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because we can dagger this.
Confound you!
And I will happily trade a Ward Crafter for that. And yeah, I think I just want to assert my dominance here. There's something to be said about placing it potentially shadow, just to have a guard in each lane, in case he wants to start charging, but...
We stand united.
Alright. I've never, like, wanted to hit a prophecy before, but I kind of wanted to draw 2 cards there. So we have to ask ourselves, what do we think we would need to Shadowfen Priest? I think the answer is Sower. So with that being said, do we play this now or save it? If we play it now and he drops a sower over here, that's a really bad time for us. But if we play it and we hit this, that potentially sets up value trades if he does not have a sower. It does also save us 1 damage. The other option is just Young Mammoth over here, which doesn't like feel great, but it is pretty aggressive and it does save this. I think the more that I think about it, saving the priest for a potential sower is probably correct, or if he just magically plays like a guard or something, again, probably correct. Does let us contest if we go Shadowfen over there, but it also only saves 1 damage.
The city is safe.
I also could have bought an argument for putting this over here, but I was a little bit worried about something like this. Alright, Prophecy is not what we wanted to see this time, because we don't need to draw the cards now.
I am ready to join the circle.
Though it does give us some nifty options, obviously.
Confound you!
So if we can just not die this turn, we should have enough for the victory with Encano next turn. And so in the spirit of just not dying, I feel like it's probably Barrowstalker and Shadowfen here. Shadowfen here ends up pulling 3 damage off the board. Could potentially Shadowfen this. Pulls 2 damage off after that transforms. Shadowfen here does save us the most damage though. And that's all we really care about at this point.
I smell
So
the
I think we
stench
are
of the
just going to do
living.
that. Because again, our goal is to just not die. So we can trade in with the Elit, and he'll have 12 damage. So he has to do 10 more damage with 8 Magicka. Which sounds like a lot, but in Warrior, with a lot of cards in hand, it's actually not.
My destiny is fulfilled.
Steel Scimitars add up very quickly. Things like Underworld
ranks,
Vigilante
let nothing
are
through.
problematic. So far, so good. Because we only need to do 1 damage.
Come at me!
Okay, we should be fine. We should be fine. So here's our 1 damage. As long as this doesn't gain him health, no Dark Harvester.
Close ranks,
Kappa.
let nothing through.
I have many important things on my mind.
And Uncano pulls out. Good game. Where's the good game? You can tell I never emo, but that was a good game. And there you have it. So, like I said, Sorcerer's still really good. Whether you go with a low curve version like this, you go with the Voice of Balance version, or you go with just more traditional, like mid-rangey, like I played last season, I think they're all really, really good right now. I'm not sure which one is quote-unquote the best, but I think that they are all extremely competitive. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll play some more games here in the near future with different decks. And as always, until next time, may you walk on warm sands.